Hello and welcome to the Random Wrestling Review. It is our local to global series. We are in March of 2001 and we have got a special episode for you today because it is the Golden Triangle Tournament. Now, I'm hoping that we'll get both nights of the tournament in for this one. I guess we'll see how the episode goes. We are fine in terms of everybody being available. One thing I didn't do at the end of the last episode was look at our finances, and we are fine. We made another profit in February, though not as much as we did in January. Maybe I mean that appears to be as a consequence of the workers we use. We used $3,000 worth of additional worker money in February, so that might have something to do with it. But hopefully we can continue to make a profit and keep going forward. And I think it's time for me to do the stuff that I need to do as well in terms of clearing up this roster, because yes, indeed, James Storm is going. He is going to be released. White hot momentum, super over as a babyface, very, very happy. He spent 3 years with the company. We're going to release him. And I feel like we just committed a crime doing that. But as explained in the last episode, I felt like it was the only logical way for the story to go, and so James Storm is out. Also, Bobby Walker, he lost a loser leaves random wrestling review match in our last event. He's annoyed anyway, thanks to his botched turn. He wasn't really performing, and so Bobby Walker also is out of the company. So those two releases have been done. We move on to the Golden Triangle tournament, and yeah, I'm looking forward to bringing you this. And we kind of are in a new phase of this company with the fact that we've just obviously let James Storm go. We've wrapped up the long story that had been kind of taking place with James Storm, and first of all, obviously him losing the Loser Leaves Random Wrestling Review match way back in, I think, August or September of 1998. Then him going under a mask as the Shadow to return without anybody knowing, him winning the world title as the Shadow. Then after having beaten Batista for that belt, he then kind of incurred the wrath of Batista, who wanted to find out who was underneath the mask. Batista finally beat him in a mask match, or a match where if he lost, he would lose his mask. At the end of 99, it was revealed to be James Storm. James Storm then was it was revealed that James Storm had signed a contract under the mask of the Shadow that kept him with the company till at least July of 2000, which meant Bruce Hart couldn't sack him, and so James Storm tried to get enough wins to be the Northwest champion, couldn't do that, so instead brought in Chris Harris as his tag team partner, and they won the tag titles, which prevented the release of James Storm at the end of July. And then the whole contract thing happened as well. That was just confirmation that Jim Neidhart has returned from his holiday. You can watch all of that history in all of our previous episodes, so I'll try not to go through things and effectively, recap the entirety of the series so far. 123 Kid is reported to be re-signing with WWE, unsurprising, I suppose. Meanwhile, ECW Living Dangerously 2001 took place, a show rating of 73, which I think is better than that which WCW had at Super Brawl. In the main event, New Jack defeated Shane Douglas to retain the ECW World title. So New Jack, 84 rated match. The Tasmaniac defeated Tex Slazenger, an 81 rated match. How did this only get a 73 show rating? We also had the Sandman and Don Harris defeat Terry Funk and Balls Mahoney in a tables match, an 82 rated contest. Mikey Whipwreck defeated Glenn Osborne to retain the ECW World Television title, 77. I mean, admittedly, under that, there were some lesser things, but those four matches were all better than the overall show rating, which is weird. But anyway, ECW continue their, growth, and fair play to them. We are at the point where we're going to do the Golden Triangle tournament. Jim Neidhart still has those big morale issues, which might become a problem at some point. We'll find out. We also, as we've said before, Charlie Haas is still out injured, though he's not very far from being able to return. And I've not actually figured out exactly what we're going to do with his return yet, so watch this space. Now, the opening night of the Golden Triangle tournament is going to start with an angle. It's going to be Mark Henry and Sean Stasiak. Now, these two obviously have not been getting on as of late. They're currently in a feud with Teddy Hart and TJ Wilson. So they're going to come out at the start of the show and reveal Henry and Stasiak reveal that they have settled their issues, then make a wager with each other about who's going to go the furthest in this tournament. So basically, they're going to make a little wager about who's going to go furthest in the Golden Triangle tournament. Both of them believe that they're going to win this tournament overall, and they make that wager. Stasiak then stays at ringside whilst Mark Henry goes into the opening match of the tournament against Rex King and Eric Young. And the winner is going to be Mark Henry. We'll make it 10 minutes. I think that's fine. Yeah, Mark Henry's going to win. The loser will be Eric Young. I am considering releasing Eric Young as well because he's not really done anything, to be honest, since we've had him in, and he's been in the company now for nearly a year, I think. Let's just have a look when he was hired by us. Yeah, so April last year, and he's really done nothing. Like when we've had other wrestlers come in the same way Eric Young did, we've graduated to something else quicker than this, whilst Eric Young just hasn't really done a thing. So I think he's likely to be leaving the company. But anyway, in this case, Mark Henry is through to the semi-final of the Golden Triangle tournament. And for those of you who may not have seen this last year, for the 2000 Golden Triangle tournament, which by the way was won by the injured Charlie Haas, he beat in the final CM Punk in a 50 rated match. It was an excellent contest. This is a tournament where basically we have 6 three-way matches on night one, all of which they're all quarterfinal matches. The winners of those 6 matches go through to the semi-final, where they have 2 three-way matches, and then the 2 winners of those 2 contests battle each other in the final on night 2 as well. So the second match in the tournament is going to be a match that sees Teddy Hart, Barry Buchanan, and C.W. Anderson face one another. And this one is going to be won by Teddy Hart. It's a pretty big victory for Teddy Hart. He's not had really many standout singles contest victories. I think we will go with the pin on C.W. Anderson. I think we'll go flash pinfall finish here. But yeah, Teddy Hart gets the victory to also progress to night 2, the semi-final. Then in the third contest on the night, we have got CM Punk, Shawn Stasiak, and Johnny Grunge in a first round triple threat match. Make this 14 minutes, and this one is going to be won by CM Punk. It's going to be due to a distraction finish, and a completely unintentional distraction finish, when Mark Henry is at ringside to watch Shawn Stasiak based on their previous wager that they made with one another. Mark Henry obviously having gone through the match and won the contest. We're going to have Mark Henry at ringside. And then, yeah, on this occasion, though, Mark Henry is kind of shouting some ultimately some advice to Stasiak, but that distracts him, and CM Punk then manages to get the victory on Stasiak. I think we'll have him. Yeah, I think we'll have him. In fact, it doesn't actually. I'll have Johnny Grunge be the one who loses. I want to see what the game does here. I don't really mind if they have Shawn Stasiak lose this; it's fine. But my idea here is that basically Mark Henry is shouting instructions to Shawn Stasiak, and then meanwhile CM Punk managed to get the pin on Johnny Grunge. But we'll see if the game can cope with that kind of direction. Johnny Grunge is extremely unhappy. Why don't we just have Shawn Stasiak lose? Make this easier. See if Stasiak's happy to lose. Grunge is still unhappy. That's interesting. Getting a little bit hype, reading a little bit too much into his own hype, I think, here. I just want to show that Shawn Stasiak is going to be at ringside for this one, watching on as his partner goes through. So that's just to mimic what we had in the other match. The fourth match in the first round, we'll see Ace Steel, Rocco Rock, and TJ Wilson in another match. And in this one, we're going to have a victory for Rocco Rock. So Rocco Rock gets the win. And I think we'll have him defeat Ace Steel in this one. And we'll also do we make the last match storytelling? I think we will make that one storytelling as well as have the interference that we had. Not interference, the distraction. So then the penultimate match of the night is a match that's, well, there will be speculation was manufactured by Bruce Hart because it's going to feature Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Chris Harris in a match alongside Batista. Harris still injured, of course. This one's going to go 13 minutes, but the win is going to come for Jim Neidhart. There we go, pinfall finish. But the idea here, obviously the title's not going to be on the line, but the idea here is that Neidhart and Harris basically double team Batista, and then Harris allows Neidhart to pin Batista and bows out of the tournament almost voluntarily here as the champion and as somebody who has benefited obviously from Neidhart's interference in a previous match. So Jim Neidhart pins Dave Batista. And then in our main event, we have got the men who've been feuding for a while now, Buddy Wayne and Billy Kidman, along with Chemo. So there's two members of the rebellion here, Billy Kidman and Chemo, against Kidman's rival, Buddy Wayne. We're going to make this go 15 minutes, I think. And the winner is going to be Kidman here. He is going to pin Buddy Wayne for the second time, of course, because he pinned him all the way back at the Seasons Beatings show where they had their first contest against one another. But in this one, Buddy Wayne is effectively, in fact, we'll do we will do the flash pinfall finish as well here because Buddy Wayne's basically going to push or throw Kimo out of the ring, but then from behind, Billy Kidman's going to come along and get the quick pinfall on Buddy Wayne. We will keep Chemo strong. Get a lot of people though complaining about the booking as if, they don't want to lose or they don't want to be exposed. Chemo's not happy about this at all, even though he's not losing the match. Maybe he'd be happier if he was losing the match. So I'm not going to protect him. He's just going to be angry, and that's the way it's going to be. And if he stays angry, then he stays angry. So that's the show. Chemo's furious. Chris Harris is injured, but everything else is fine. Could be a little bit of a few problems starting to mount for us backstage. I don't know. But anyway, this is night one. We're going to go straight into it now, I think. I think we're all good. Storyline, only thing I'm worried about is this one. It's got Bruce Hart and Chris Harris in. We don't really need this now. This storyline is finished because James Storm is not around. I mean, look how far it went from March 2000. So much going on, basically a year long. But there was nothing else for this story. There's nothing else for that story either. So I'm going to end that. Am I going to end this? Is there something? No, we're going to end this story. That's still going on. That's definitely still going on. Maybe we'll add Chris Harris to that at some point. We don't need to at the moment. CM Punk versus the Rebellion is still going on. And so is Buddy Wayne versus Billy Kidman. There was one thing that I thought I might add. So if I remove him, yeah, and then yeah, that doesn't matter. Ace Steel and CM Punk is the main crux of this feud, so I think I'll leave it at that. But yeah, those feuds, those stories continue. Let's go into night one of the Golden Triangle tournament then. And in front of 186 people, we start with Mark Henry and Sean Stasiak cutting a promo, a segment rating of 50. Really, really excellent stuff here. Both improvised well throughout the segment, although Sean Stasiak's gimmick is getting stale, so we better make a note of that. And yeah, they basically talk about the fact that they've had some problems recently, but they've sat down, they've talked them through, and they are happy to report that all is fine between them. Mark Henry then goes on to say that he is about to go and win the Golden Triangle tournament. Stasiak disagrees and says he will be the winner, not Mark Henry. And so the two of them decide to and agree to make a friendly wager with each other to see who will go further in the tournament. Stasiak then stays at ringside whilst Mark Henry competes in his first round match. It's against Rex against Rex King and Eric Young in this first triple threat match. A segment rating of 38, which Mark Henry wins, pinning Eric Young with a big splash after 10 minutes and 15 seconds. So Mark Henry, an in-ring performance of 35, Rex King of 38, Eric Young of 29. Not a bad start to the show, given that these are three of the... This probably is the weakest combination of wrestlers we've got in terms of the first round matches. The next match saw Teddy Hart, Barry Buchanan, and C.W. Anderson. In 11:35, Teddy Hart pinned C.W. Anderson with a fast roll-up. Teddy Hart did an in-ring performance of 41, so he is getting better and better with every performance at the moment. Barry Buchanan of 45, C.W. Anderson at 39, a segment rating of 45. Very good indeed as Teddy Hart progresses to the semi-final. Then CM Punk, Sean Stasiak, and Johnny Grunge. I was hoping for more from this. Stasiak, though, was off of his game. And CM Punk wins it in 14:21 when he pinned Sean Stasiak with a Pepsi plunge after the distraction from Mark Henry. So Mark Henry shouting instructions to Stasiak, which inadvertently causes Stasiak to be distracted and allows Punk to hit the Pepsi plunge and get the victory. In 14:21, Johnny Grunge had to be protected through this because he wasn't happy about the sort of way the match was going down. Or did he in the end? I can't even remember. Actually, I think he didn't because of the fact that he wasn't taking the pinfall. But nevertheless, all in the 40s here, but only a 44 rated match, maybe because of Stasiak being off of his game. Who knows? Then another 44 rated match is Rocco Rock defeated Ace Steel and TJ Wilson in a triple threat match at 11:50 when Rocco Rock pinned Ace Steel with a drive-by. So Ace Steel a 47 here, Rocco Rock a 40 and TJ Wilson just a 23. Wilson still kind of being introduced. He's quite early in his time with the company. Segment rating of 44 though isn't bad at all. Then we go to one of the big matches. Jim Neidhart, Dave Batista, and Chris Harris in their triple threat contest. Neidhart wins in 12:49 when he pins Batista with an anvil flattener. And this is after both Neidhart and Harris have taken their turns to beat down on Batista, who has presumably been manufactured into this position against the allies, Neidhart and Harris, against him, against Batista. And Batista basically faces a 2-on-1 match, and then Chris Harris happily allows Neidhart to pin Batista and to progress to the semi-final. The segment rating of 54, Jim Neidhart did a 54 rating. He'll be happy that he actually got a victory here. This is only the second one he's had in the company so far. Batista of 41, Chris Harris of 41. And Chris Harris, of course, was injured, so that's affected his performance. It might have even been a better match had that not been the case. So then we have the main event, a 48 rated match, not quite as good as the semi-main, but still pretty good here. Obviously featuring Buddy Wayne and Billy Kidman in their feud. Kimo was off his game and was furious with the way this match went down, despite the fact that actually he didn't take the pinfall. It was Buddy Wayne who took the pinfall with a roll-up when Buddy Wayne throws Kimo out of the ring, but then Kidman gets the roll up on Buddy Wayne to progress to the semi-final and get his second pinfall over his rival and former mentor Buddy Wayne. A segment rating of 48 finishes this show off for an overall rating of 48. Not bad, not as good as some of the shows we've had recently, but actually I'd say that's still probably going to be in the top 10 easily. And in particular, obviously, Neidhart, Batista, and Harris's triple threat match was very good indeed. We'll give Jim Neidhart a big praise as well because we want to get back on his good side. He's been annoyed with me. I tell you what, I'll give Kimo a point him out as a good example for losing his match. Not that he had to take the pinfall or anything, and I don't really want to encourage the attitude that he seems to have, but like we'll go with it. And I think we'll also give some credit to, let's go Buddy Wayne this time. Complimented on a good performance. Let's do that. Neidhart pleased, Kimo pleased, Buddy Wayne pleased. All pleased. And that is night one of the Golden Triangle Tournament. We are ready to move on to the final of this tournament. And as I said, I hope to get all this done today. Our size has gone up to 23, which is a new milestone for us. 23 popularity. Still, going up in terms of our size and everything. So there's nothing else for me to do but to go to the next player controlled show, and a good chance for me with 2/3 of this episode, or at least 2/3 of our usual length episode done, to encourage you to hit the like button if you're enjoying this episode and you're enjoying these videos I'm bringing you as part of the Random Wrestling Reviews Local to Global series. Also, if you've not yet done so, please subscribe because that's a real help. It's been really amazing to have so many people along for the ride so far. I'm recording this still about 2 months ahead of the episodes coming out, so still a long, long way to go, I think, in this series. But as of recording time, already got over 200 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic. But love to get more and love to be able to get to a point where we can really get like large numbers for this series, because the bigger the numbers are, the more likely I'll be invested to carry on. Although saying that, from a creative perspective, I'm invested anyway, and I have been invested all the way through this, and I still feel like there's so much life left in this particular series. So yeah, I really don't see this one ending anytime soon. And obviously, hopefully in, I don't know, 30 episodes or something, or 10 episodes or whatever, we can build up to something as meaty and as fulfilling, storyline wise, as what we just had with James Storm and the Bruce Hart feud, which I think is my favorite story so far that we've done as part of this. As part of this series, and what I'm most happy with is, in my view, it all made sense. I don't feel like we contradicted ourselves on the way to getting there. I don't feel like anybody um, kind of did something completely out of character or completely, out of left field that doesn't make any sense. I feel like everyone had their motivations for doing what they did, or and seemed to effectively just you know get to the position we wanted to get to, in the way that we in a way that made sense all the way. Now, this is interesting. The news is that fans of World Championship Wrestling may notice a change in tone, as the company has reported gone all in on a change to a style they're calling episodic entertainment internally. Company insiders say that the change, which has been hinted at over the past few months, is an attempt to freshen things up and reconnect with old fans and attract new ones. I mean, they definitely need to do something, so it's not a surprise here that they're changing something. We've got some news. Charlie Haas is fully fit and returns to the company. Wow, feels like it's been a very long time. I'm going to tell you now, just so there's no kind of disappointment, that Charlie Haas will not be at night 2 of the Golden Triangle tournament. Let's have a look at what WWC are doing at the moment. Stevie Ray is the Universal Champion. He defeated Jeff Jarrett and Tommy Dreamer to retain the Universal Heavyweight title in a 79 rated match. Dean Malenko beat Billy Gunn. Johnny B. Bad defeated Kurt Angle. Again, good matches, good roster. WWC looking pretty good in general. This wasn't quite as good as WCW's pay-per-view, though, last month, but all the same, pretty decent. And I said, WCW going in a new direction. Let's just have a quick look at the finance as well. So again, we seem like we're in a good place in terms of financially. Let's hope that that continues as we go into night 2. Chemo now has big morale issues. Furious at the booking. He's angry. I don't want him to leave either. Have I got Chemo booked for this show? Yes, I think I have actually. Yeah, okay. Well, let's just see how that works itself out. But let's go to night 2 of the Golden Triangle tournament. And try and get straight into the booking, because I don't, I think this might overrun a little bit, but I don't want it to overrun too much. So it's the first semi-final of the Golden Triangle tournament. We've got Teddy Hart, we've got CM Punk, and we've got Mark Henry facing one another in the first of the two semi-finals. And this one is going to be a win for CM Punk. He's going to make the final for a second year in a row. You're going to get the pin on Teddy, I think. Um, but I think CM Punk and Teddy Hart can almost work together to get rid of Mark Henry from the running in this one, and then kind of face each other for the right to get to the final, and that's kind of how Punk wins it. Then in the second semi-final, it's going to be Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Rocco Rock, and Billy Kidman. So for the chance to face CM Punk in the final of the Golden Triangle tournament. And the winner is going to be Billy Kidman. He is going to make the final, and we'll make this the storytelling match, I think, as well. Who's he going to pin? I think he will pin Johnny Grunge, Rocker Rock, sorry, which Rocker Rock probably won't be too happy with. So now Jim Neidhart is furious. So this is the problem. I think if I make him angry again with another situation where he doesn't get the booking he likes, he's going to leave. And he is furious. I don't really know how to stop him from being furious, frankly, because he's already angry and he wants, he's not going to be pinned here. And I feel like that should be enough. I think the fact that Rocco Rock's going to be pinned should be enough. I am a little bit uncertain of what to do here because I don't want to lose Neidhart. I think he's been brilliant. Like he's been, the matches he's had have all been the best matches in the company. So I really don't want to lose him. And I have got ideas for what he's going to do in the future. But if he gets furious at this as well, we're going to lose him, aren't we? Is there anything else I can do that will encourage him to accept this one? Uh, no, I don't think so. Um, can we? Can I also give him that? Jim Neidhart dominating? No, that's not going to change anything. I mean, if he's going to be furious anyway, I may as well get rid of these things, right? I think we just do it. Like this is what we're gonna. This is what we plan to do. Oh, Rocco Rock is furious as well. Can I keep him strong? And neither Rocco Rock or Jim Neidhart are willing to lose this match or want to lose this match. But if I can just get one of them to accept it, so Rocco Rock will accept being pinned. Jim Neidhart will not accept anything. I mean, let's see if I can just. Now I'm also keeping Rocco Rock strong. Can I do this for Neidhart and get away with it? I don't think so. No, okay, fine. You know what? We're not going to keep him strong, but Rocco Rock is going to be protected, and Billy Kidman will go to the final, and so it'll be a CM Punk Billy Kidman final. Then we're going to have Sean Stasiak face TJ Wilson. These, of course, have been in a feud. Stasiak's going to get the reasonably easy victory here um, over over TJ Wilson. I think we'll just leave it at that. Doesn't need anything else to be said really about this victory. Um, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So Stasiak just gets a bit of a boost after having been knocked out in the first round of the tournament, of course. So then we're going to have Ace Steel, Barry Buchanan, and Chemo, three members of the Rebellion against Buddy Wayne, Johnny Grunge, and Eric Young. This is really just a bit of like, these are people who are not in the second round of the tournament, and it's good to get them on the show. Make this 14 minutes. And I think we were going to have here a victory for the baby faces. Johnny Grunge is going to win, pinning. I think we'll have him pin Barry Buchanan. Let's hope that Chemo's okay with that as well. We don't want him getting upset again, so that's fine. The Rebellion lose that one though in a six-man tag match. Then we're going to have a Northwest title match. Chris Harris is going to face Rex King for the title. So this is heel versus heel. Bit of a strange place for us to be in, but Chris Harris is going to get his first victory in as champions. First defense of the title. I think it's his first. Is it first? Well, no, it's his second. Obviously, defended against C.W. Anderson as well, didn't he? So another match here, which is not a difficult one for Chris Harris. And I thought this was a good place for the heel versus heel match because it didn't have to be in the main event because of the fact we've got the tournament final in the main event. And that is because Rex King is the number one contender. So there's a good chance to look at the ratings. Chris Harris has 15 points as champion, but Rex King has 12 points, and so does Ace Steel. So we have two heels in pole position as the number one contender. And you see also that under that, Barry Buchanan is a heel as well. This is the rankings, by the way, as they stood before the beginning of the tournament. So you notice I've still got the asterisks against Charlie Haas, who was injured at that time. He has 10 points, Teddy Hart 9, and Chemo on 6, Eric Young 4, Punk and Buddy Wayne on 3, Mark Henry, Batista, and Stasiak all on 2. Then finally, TJ Wilson, Jim Neidhart, Rocco Rock, Johnny Grunge, Billy Kidman all on 1, and CW Anderson on 0. This is all before the tournament, but Rex King is the number one contender and will face Chris Harris, but lose ultimately, and Harris will get second defense of the title. Then, before the main event, we're going to have Ace Steel, Barry Buchanan, hang on, Barry Buchanan, can't do it. What is going on? I can't type. Barry Buchanan and Chemo all come out, but with Billy Kidman, but be basically scared off or fought off by Buddy Wayne, Johnny Grunge, and Rocco Rock, who obviously Buddy Wayne and the Public Enemy. So let's have that as a 4 minute. No, we might have to have 5 minutes because I think we need to make sure. I think a 4 minute might do this. We'll start with 4 minutes. You know what? No, let's go up to 5 because I think we still got one more match. Obviously, let's see what happens then. So the final of the Golden Triangle tournament is CM Punk and Billy Kidman, and going to make this 15 minutes. Open match, pinfall victory. Obviously, what's happened here is that the Rebellion have come out seemingly to help Billy Kidman, but then Buddy Wayne and Public Enemy have cleared them away, so they're not going to be a factor in this match. But it is still going to be an outside interference finish, and Billy Kidman is going to win it when Jim the Anvil Neidhart comes in and interferes against CM Punk. Yes, indeed, Billy Kidman is going to win the final of the Golden Triangle tournament. So for the second year in a row, Punk will make it to the final, but not get the victory. So Jim Neidhart furious with the booking of that match, but that's the only problem that I've got in terms of my booking notes here. Batista, there's no place for Batista on this show, nor Charlie Haas, who obviously returned from injury. But CM Punk versus Billy Kidman is the final. Billy Kidman is the final of the Golden Triangle tournament, and Billy Kidman will come out the winner, which means that for 2 years in a row now, Punk has lost the final of this tournament. So I think we're ready to run this show. Everything seems fine. The only problem we've got is Jim Neidhart is not a happy man. So let's see what happens. Okay, so this is in front of 170 people. That is a real drop. I wonder if this is a reflection of the fact that Kidman just simply isn't popular enough, and maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to read too much into it. Anyway, CM Punk wins in 13 minutes and 18 seconds when he pins Teddy Hart with a Pepsi plunge. A segment rating of 48 here. Really, really good. Teddy Hart was a 42, so another rating better from him. Henry just a 34, but Punk a 49. He is carrying some really good form as things stand at the moment. Then we have Jim Neidhart, Rocco Rock, and Billy Kidman, with Billy Kidman coming out on top in 11:45 when he pinned Rocco Rock with a shooting star press. Jim Neidhart was a 53, Rocco Rock a 41, Billy Kidman a 43 for a segment rating of 46. Not bad, but I'm really nervous now about our chances of keeping Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Then Sean Stasiak fought TJ Wilson in a pretty short match, 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Wins by pinfall. Stasiak was a 45, TJ Wilson a 21. Been treated a little bit like a jobber in this one, unfortunately for him. Stasiak gets the win. Then we had a 6-man tag match as the Rebellion team of Ace Steel, Barry Buchanan, and Chemo fought Buddy Wayne, Johnny Grunge, and Eric Young. The winners were the babyfaces when Johnny Grunge pinned Barry Buchanan with a table bomb. You can see here that Ace Steel did a 45, Barry Buchanan a 43, Johnny Grunge a 42, Buddy Wayne a 40, Chemo 42. Only Eric Young kind of not in a particularly good not a particular performance. Chemo down to 42 in terms of his in-ring performance. He was one of the higher guys, and I don't know if that's gone down. I just don't think that he's gone up when everyone else has in terms of overall performance. He used to be one of the ones that was always one of the best performers, but in this one, Ace Steel actually was the standout performer. But the babyfaces get the victory. Then we have Chris Harris, his second defense of the Northwest title. He wins in 11:37 by pinfall, an in-ring performance of 48 against Rex King, who did a 37, and a segment rating of 45. Chris Harris retains that belt again and makes his second defense. And so he goes to the final of before the final of the Golden Triangle tournament. Billy Kidman comes out with Ace Steel, Barry Buchanan, and Chemo, but Buddy Wayne and the Public Enemy run in to clear out the rest of the Rebellion, leaving just Punk and Kidman for the match itself. A segment rating of 40, this one got. And then the final did a 454 rated match, even better than last year's final, with Billy Kidman taking the victory in 15 minutes and 2 seconds with a shooting star press, following interference from Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And Billy Kidman wins the Golden Triangle tournament, and major victory for Billy Hidman, and that is how this show ends with Billy Kidman getting the victory. Why did Jim Neidhart interfere on Kidman's behalf? The overall show rating was a 51, thanks to that great main event, one of the best matches we've seen from Billy, certainly the best we've seen Billy Kidman in anyway. And in general, this had all good matches. The opener 48, then a 46, a 42, a 45, a 39 as well. But the 54 in the main event, really, really good. I mean, we have to give CM Punk praise for a great performance, but we're also going to give Kidman a compliment on his performance. And we have to try and mollify Jim Neidhart. So we're giving him, making him out as a good example again. He seemed pleased, but I don't think that's enough to keep him happy. I'm a bit dreading there being instant news after this one. There isn't. So that's not, and nothing has changed there. We retain that the services of Neidhart for now, but look, he is not a happy man. If we go to this one, major morale issues. I think this is the first time we've ever had major morale issues. I'm not going to deal with that just yet. I need to think about what the next show is going to be, and then determine how the hell I manage Jim Neidhart and his fury. So I'm not going to do that yet, but that is today's episode. We'll be back in a few days' time with our next episode as we move into April of 2001, and of course, also by the way, we will have gone by that point past the point where in reality both WCW and ECW no longer existed. So well into this game now, and much to come. I'm absolutely certain. So that's all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching.